There we go. Welcome back. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Mr. Bass Get Your Fish On show. Jan is already saying hola. Can you see text? Can you see comments out of curiosity?
No, I cannot.
Oh, sorry. I will add them to broadcast as we go and say hello to everybody as it happens. So I want to just say hello to everybody, and today it's gonna be a little bit different. We've actually got a topic, an important topic. But before we do this, before we even get started, I want you guys to make sure you go to Mr. Bass's channel, subscribe immediately. Go subscribe. Be part of his team. Make sure you do all of it. Subscribe, click that like button, all of it. So do that. Today we are going to talk about the important things. The important things are subscription tackle boxes.
Yeah.
And let me say, first off, congratulations to you for being part of. You're the face of Monster Bass this month.
Yeah, on the multi-species box I am.
Yes, yeah. Congratulations. Cool. How did that all come about?
Well, just kind of talking with Rick and the team over there, and doing some videos. I subscribe to a lot of these boxes, and so I do videos on every one of them. In fact, there's Monster Bass commenting right there.
Yep.
And when they came out, they were just killing it. They were just crushing the market. I was really impressed with their product, and I've kind of always wanted to be involved with them because I've really liked their product. And the more I've been involved, they're great people over there, and I'm kind of leaning more towards the multi-species box now. I do a lot of pond fishing and streams and rivers and creeks and big lakes too, and it's nice to have lures in addition to the bass lures, the ones that you can catch panfish with too. So that's where I'm at. I'm in the multi-species box this month.
Do you normally do a lot of pan fishing? I mean,
I don't do a ton of pan fishing, but there's just days when the bass aren't biting.
Yeah.
And so I always carry it with me. It's kind of my backup. I always carry it with me, and I like to have my crappie lures and that kind of stuff ready to go.
Well, today we're going to talk. Your wife is on, I think. The kids are already planning on crashing in on this newfound fame. Look at you. She's already. I just want you to know she's already spent your check. She just texted me, honey. I bought a Gucci bag. Oh, I'm sorry.
We know where that money's coming from.
It's good to hear. So we're going to talk about subscription tackle boxes today. All sorts of stuff. How to get into it. All of our thoughts. And by all means, if you have an idea or a thought, we want to hear from you. I'm going to try to keep up with the comments as much as possible. I will say they come in a little fast at times. There are a lot of people that have said hello. So from Jan to John to Jeff to Eric. I think these are all your friends, by the way. Matthew, Mr. Bass's woman, Who's Duncan is back, my boy Booster C, Kyle, Hank Snow Outdoors, Goondocks, Mark Tomlinson. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people. So I'll try to keep up with the comments and put them up there as they go on. They might be fast and furious, but that is how it is. Can I just start on another thing? You know, I felt like I took a little heat last week about talking about colors don't help you catch fish.
Oh man, you did take some heat on that. In fact, my buddy Dean, who I fish with a lot, as soon as the podcast was over, he was like, "What is that guy talking about? Is he crazy? What do you mean color doesn't matter?"
So can I interject some things that I know? So is that all right?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show a lure that is a prototype. It's out on the market now, but I want everyone to see when a lure is made, they don't make a lure what we see. There's a process behind it that you actually you have to go back and they have a whole meeting schedule on what colors are going to be used. So in this case, this is what a prototype lure looks like when it comes to pro staff people. They're generally white. They aren't the finished product by any means. Mm-hmm. But these are what we use to try to make sure that they are, in this case, I don't want to, this one might break, but it might not. We use these to give we go fish with them and give our opinion on what they're doing. Are they acting wrong? Like in this case, even though this is like a series 3 of a frog. It has it's one frog from Sebile. Mm-hmm. But they go from looking like this to then they finish up looking like this, which we buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in most cases, when we get them, there's no color to the lure. They're just a blah thing. Sometimes they're I don't mind showing this one. Sometimes they look just like this. This is actually the original. This is the original Twitch shad from Patrick Sebile. And this is the mold that made this is what made Patrick Sebile world renowned. This is his new one. So we get them. We pro staff people get them like this, and then they finish up looking like what they are. But we don't get them colorized. So that's where some of that knowledge comes from. You know, I mean, I know everyone didn't agree with it, but really color comes with being confident. When you're confident in a color, then that helps you fish better. That's the truth. So I just wanted to say that. That's all. I mean, because I'll be brutally honest. If it isn't black and blue, I don't use it. That's the God's honest truth. So while I might know a little bit about it, there is
Yeah, so that prototype phase, basically where the pros are testing the durability of the lure and the action of the lure and all those sorts of things. They may not necessarily be concerned about color at that moment. They're just trying to determine how well the lure actually works or does what it says it's going to do.
Yeah, and then
I think though there's truth to both statements. I think there are times when color really does not matter at all. And then I've fished on days where it absolutely seemed to matter.
Yes.
That, you could catch it on a green pumpkin. You couldn't catch it on anything else or whatever.
Matt, go ahead.
Generally speaking, though, all those exotic colors are probably not really necessary. You've got a basic staple of colors depending upon the water clarity and all kinds of things. Where just like you, why do you throw black and blue all the time? Because you fish in a lot of stained water.
Yeah, it's the silhouette I'm fishing. Right,
that's right.
And in the case of, when you start getting these prototype lures, like this frog was the Sebile frog, so this is like phase 3. I don't know if you can see this one doesn't. It was meant to be the hook to expose, but if you look at, so I'll just hold it by the weight. You don't see that hook really exposes much like that. Now, when you look at the final product, see how much the hook exposes just by holding onto that weight. Yeah. So when in the process of us, testing these things for, in this case, this is a 2-year process. This was, it just. You find out the little tweaks that needs to be made, and then you have a meeting that goes over what colors they're going to use. And in most cases, I'm going to turn my microphone down because I think I'm probably really loud. They have a sit down meeting where they go, what colors do you need to see? And they ask retailers and other people, and they pick the ones that sell the best. That's the truth. I think everyone uses AU. Is that the name of it? AYU?
IU.
Yeah, IU. Yeah. IU. Yeah. So, it's how it is. Someone asked me, Matt Thomas says, what was the prototype you lost, if you can speak about it? Of all things, Mr. Bass just saw it a few seconds ago. show you what it is. It's a spinner bait. I'm not going to show you the part that is different, but that is a spinner bait it just looks like a normal spinner bait, but there's a drastic difference in that spinner bait than probably anybody has ever seen in that top part. But I don't want to get in trouble. But what happened is I fished with it, and of all things, they only made like 10, and I think the mold was about 70 grand at the time. So each lure was about $7,000, maybe even more than that. And we lost one really early on a big fish, and you're kind of like, are you joking me? But it is what it is. So anyway,
Gary's right. And faster turn on any color will work.
Yeah, and that's true. Doesn't matter if they're fired up. That's how it is. Lots of people are saying hello, so I'm going to try to run through this real fast. And did you ever see the laser lure? Did you and I talk about this?
Yeah, well, you and I did talk about the laser lure. Yeah, not on the show, but we talked about it offline.
One of the top 10 worst baits of all time. It was on record as. There's a really good story about how all that worked out, but this is not the time for that. Maybe another show.
Booster says the bass went crazy chasing the red dot. Did they really chase the red
dot? Only he knows that. He knows that story. That's the problem. He knows my story. We actually did go to, we went to Bass Pro, and we did do it. He supposedly it was tested at SeaWorld too, and I'm like, Shamu was chasing a red dot. I mean, come on. I mean, that's when I should have realized there was something going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so today it's about, subscription tackle boxes. So if I can ask you some questions first, how many subscription? Because you got a lot of boxes behind you. How many subscription boxes do you subscribe to?
Let's see. I subscribe to a couple of Monster Bass boxes. I just started that Florida tackle one that you recommended to me, which I think is awesome. Mystery Tackle Box, the Champions Club, Major League Fishing Champions Club.
Yep.
The Jewel Baits Fish Tools. That's a new one as well. I'm really liking that. The 6 Cent Super 6 Sack also is pretty sweet. And I just signed up for another one you recommended, Bass Tackle Monthly or something like that.
Bass Baits Monthly.
Bass Baits Monthly, yeah. I haven't gotten one of those yet. And then I've subscribed to a lot of other ones and then kind of dropped them over time, like Warriors Tackle. I'm still getting Warriors, although I've canceled the subscription. I don't know how much longer it lasts. And, I feel like I've tried the vast majority of them out there. Lucky Tackle Box.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, you start to see a lot of similarities. I can remember when it first came out, and it was really, when I first saw it, I was like, why would anybody do this? What's the point? And then I was like, okay, it's a gift. I get it. If you got someone in your family who's loves fishing, this would be a great gift. You subscribe for 6 months or whatever, and they get a box from you every month. That's kind of cool.
I agree.
I never really thought about getting it for myself.
Yes.
Because I've always thought I want to pick my own lures anyway, and I guarantee you, even if they put 6 great lures in there, I'm still not going to want all of those. I'm just not. Now, some of them I get really excited about, but I have discovered over time that one advantage of a monthly tackle box is you get exposed to things that you really absolutely would never try, and it can change your world. It really can. Like that Yappa rat, who makes the Yappa rat?
Lunker Hunt.
Lunker Hunt makes the Yappa rat. I saw the Yappa rat in Shields one day, and I was like, I'm not buying that. I do not. Great. It's another top water lure. I do not need that. I'm not buying that. Not interested in that. And then it showed up in my Monster Bass box. And I thought, well, I got it. I'll go fish with it. And it crushed them.
Really?
I had an amazing.
Shut your mouth.
I did. I had an amazing day with that lure. It has a very subtle action in the water, kind of almost like a jitterbug. It's kind of like a hollow body jitterbug is what it is. And it kind of makes a very similar action. It's not real overpowering, and the fish just loved it. So I was like, man, I'm glad they put that in the box because I never would have tried it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's one of the positives. You do try new things. There are times when you have never heard of the bait and you say it on a unboxing video and you get 7,000 comments because you don't know what RoboWorm is. But I mean, excluding that, I'm glad
I've never said that actually.
Yeah, lucky for you. I have to say, Jan told me that your favorite one is. Let me put that up. Where's Jan's comment? I don't know. Your favorite one was. Oh yeah, here it is. His favorite one is Warriors Tackle. Is that the truth?
He is a liar. He's jacking with me. We got a running joke on my channel that the Warriors Tackle people, they've gone to all Warriors Tackle lures, which is fine. I mean, we've already talked about the fact that they're probably having their baits made where a lot of the other companies are having theirs made. But they don't give a color to any of their baits. They just give it a number. That's where one of the guys had a comment, A007 is my favorite color.
I knew that. I watched that video.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been joking about that for quite a while. That come on, at least give your color a name.
Yeah, well, that brings me to a question that I want to ask you and ask the people that are on here, and we appreciate everyone. Everyone, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you go to both channels and subscribe and hit those notifications. What is your honest feeling about getting a bait that one of the boxes makes themselves? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you feel like it's...
I absolutely hated it at first. I just felt like, man, they're ripping me off here. I don't want their name brand bait. I mean, most of the time, there's nothing original about their name brand, about their own baits. They're generally speaking just copying someone else. Now, I have noticed that as the companies have gone along and gotten bigger and bigger, like Catch Co. and some of these, they have really they tend to attempt to make more original style baits, like this spinnerbait you and I were talking about. This cycle bait. The cycle bait came in the mystery tackle box today, and to me it looks super gimmicky, but it's different. And you said you get a lot of action in the head, which really makes it travel through the water in a unique way. Well, I would never buy this thing, but I came in my box, so I might try it, and who knows, it might be great. But generally speaking, I feel like if you can get me a Strike King lure, I want a Strike King lure.
Yeah.
I just do. And I think most guys feel that way. So I think a subscription tackle box brand has to really do a lot of work to persuade the customer base that their product is actually as good, if not better, than the companies that are already out there. So I think Warriors' strategy is flawed. They're actually going to an all Warriors box, and I think it's going to turn some people off. I think you've got to keep some of those other name brands in your box. You just do.
I agree with you completely. I think that one of the things I like to see, and I'm a little bit jaded, and I apologize for that. Doing the radio show and being in this industry for 10, 12, 15 years, more than that I think I know a majority of the stuff. However, when I want to see in my box new stuff that I can't get, that I can't either get or a name product, because I know that there's a drastic difference in what Strike King puts out and the work that they put in to make a bait compared to, no offense to Warriors, what Warriors is probably doing, because they probably found a bait in China and said, we want that bait off that wall in this color and now they're getting it for 85 cents a lure. And if that's the case, then make it a little bit less money. You have people like, I'm going to go through here, 6 Cents that put so much time and effort into making their baits that they get knocked off by Guggen instantly.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating because that doesn't help our industry at all. So that's kind of where I'm going. I should say one of our good friends, I don't know if you know Tony from No Redemption Outdoors, is on here. So he's another one everyone should be going and watching his channel. His channel's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Heck yeah.
So
what up, Tony?
So like you have, that's kind of how I feel. I'd like to see it. But
that was a huge controversy when those Guggen lures started coming out. Guys were cutting them in half and cutting in half the 6 Cents lures and comparing them, and that was interesting to see that whole thing play out for sure.
Yeah. Well, so I guess we're in a kind of agreement. While it's a better option to get something that we know and is name brand, I guess it isn't the worst thing unless you get a whole box full of stuff, and then maybe you need to look into that a little bit better or figure something else out on that box. I guess we can. Hopefully everybody can agree on that. Okay, well that brings me to another question that I'm sorry about this. I'm kind of asking you the questions because I want to hear what you think, and then I'll chime in.
Yeah.
Too. Oh, hold on. Monster Bash just wrote something. It's a double-edged sword, though. The moment you put you put a brand that someone hasn't heard of in the box, Thunderhawk Lures is at the moment that says you're putting garbage in the box. Well, I think that, well, in my opinion, and I don't mean any disrespect, when I think that if you have too many of those those lesser name brands, then that's when things start to get a little bit, you start to question it.
Yeah, I agree with him. Actually, one of the things that Rick does, unboxes his box every month ahead of time. And I think it's helpful because what he will do is when he has a smaller lure company's bait, he'll hold the bait up and he'll explain, hey, this is a small little company out of Alabama, and they've been in business for 7 years, and they make really good stuff. We checked them out, and we think you're really going to like this. Just a simple explanation like that goes a long way.
Yes.
In helping the consumer realize, okay, maybe this isn't a fly-by-night gimmicky deal. Yeah. But then there are other lures, you'll get it and it'll say Joe's Bait Company and Crankbait. And then you go on, I do this many times. I go online to find that company, and you realize they don't even have a website, or you click on their website and it goes to the Ukraine, and all of the data on the lure is literally in a foreign language, and you can't
see translation.
Yeah, and you're like, holy crap, this is total junk. I can't believe this, So there's that, and then and that's I think almost every fisherman out there says, I'd love to support a local small company that's trying to grow, especially if they make high quality stuff. But you don't want a whole box full of it, and you like to know a little bit about the company. And the other things that I'm not high on is, like, there's one company out there, I won't say their name, but they have these color changing lures, and all the lures drop in the water and they change color. To me, that is a total gimmick. And don't try to sell me on a color changing lure until you can prove that it really is valid. And I could be totally wrong. I'm open-minded enough to admit, hey, if there's a color changing lure out there that will change my fishing world, I'm all about it. But give me a quality product without making it gimmicky.
Yeah, it's what Monster Bass said. It's hard. One of the things in subscription tackle boxes, their goal is to market a new product for that company. I mean, quite honestly, I have no problem. I have no problem admitting this. I've told this to everybody. What Monster Bass has done in 2 years is unbelievable. Rick is a marketing genius. I'm not joking.
I would agree with that.
I'm very hard on Monster Bass. I remember, so to keep it real, so when Mystery Tackle Box started, it was one of my friends. Well, he's not. We don't talk much anymore. His name was Jeremy. He started Mystery Tackle Box. It was before Kevin KVD or Carl Van Dibble or whatever the hell his thing is.
Carl Von Dibble. Yeah.
Or and they didn't even have him at the time. But we had, this was 8-9 years ago, and then out of nowhere, Lucky Tackle Box started, and I knew a person from Lucky Tackle Box, and I got that subscription. I was on the air, and we did on the air kind of review of it, and then when Monster Bass came out, I just remember going, their standards that they were putting forth was the best of anybody that's been out there at that time.
Yeah.
And that's and I think that's where my overly critical stuff comes in with Monster Bass, because I remember those first few boxes and just being like, mind blown.
Yeah.
Just like,
right.
Wow, this is good
the
stuff.
Better box, without question.
Yes. So, that's kind of where it is. My question to you though is it about quality of the product or quantity? Which one is more important to you? Would you rather get extra lures that are maybe not of that caliber, or would you rather get the name brand stuff? And while you're doing that, I'm going to post everyone's comments, so give me a second here. So what is yours? I want to hear this.
That's a good question. And I kind of feel bad in some ways talking about this stuff, because I will spend money on high-end stuff.
Oh my gosh. I saw the last video.
Yeah. And I mean, I got them up here on the wall. I know. None of that cheap. None of that cheap.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah. Well, but there is a cheapskate out there that will say, look, you don't need any of that expensive stuff. You can catch just as many fish with cheap lures as you can expensive lures. And that is true.
Yes.
But I really get a kick and a thrill out of a high quality, expensive lure. And so, like, for example, the Hookup Tackle right now is doing a monthly subscription box. It's $100, and it's got JDM lures in it, and it's got special colors from Mega Bass. And I tried to get in on that and couldn't get in because they're limited to 200 subscription boxes. They charge $100 for that box every month, and they claim it's $100 value. It's not $150. It's not $200. It's exactly $100 worth of lures. And what they say is, we're giving you top quality JDM lures, but there's no deal. There's no deal here. But there is really cool, high quality, exclusive color lures that you can't get at other places. And to me, I'd pay that $100 just for that unique stuff. But there's a lot of guys out there on a budget. They need quantity. I mean, there are a lot of kids on my channel, 14, 15-year-olds, that love fishing tackle, and they don't have any money. And they want to subscribe to boxes and stuff, but, even $19 a month is a challenge for them.
Yep.
So they would definitely want quantity over quality. They really would. They would just love to have nothing but a box of 30 Lunker Candy spinner baits in there, and they'd just be ecstatic. I don't want that. I want
neither.
That's what I loved about your box that you sent me, man. It was chock full of cool, unique, exciting stuff. And this is my big challenge with the monthly boxes. It's hard for me to stay excited in those boxes. The reason I subscribe is for my viewers, because I know there's a ton of viewers that I have that want to see what's in those boxes. They want an opinion on what to buy and how to spend their money. And so that's usually what I do. I buy those boxes so that I can share with the audience, and then I give those lures away, most of them, in my Saturday night live streams. So for me, the answer is quality. I want quality over quantity. But here's a downside. You go quality, you got to reduce the number of lures you have in a box because the person says, I'm not going to pay more than $40 a month or $35 a month or whatever. And then they get mad because there's only 3 lures in there, right? It's like I heard Rick say on one of his live streams, someone asked him about a Megabass jerkbait. He said, look, if I put a Megabass jerkbait, that's the only bait you'd get in the box. Think about it, guys. Think about it. So I understand from a marketing and from a business standpoint, it's got to be a huge challenge to these companies to try to find the quality, but get enough quantity in there so the person doesn't feel like they're being, ripped off.
I'm with you, but I understand it. Like if you were to ask my nephew, Callan, who my sister subscribes to, I keep telling her to switch, but well, he doesn't really need to switch, to be honest. He can come over here and take anything he wants from me. But I tell her, look, if you're gonna get one, you're getting the wrong one. But I know you're getting a deal. But in Callan's case, he just wants as much stuff as possible.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Rick could throw 20 bags of plastics in there, and my nephew would think Rick is Almighty God. He would start bowing down and praying to him. That's the God's honest truth.
I've wondered that if the market wouldn't be interested in an all soft plastics only box. You could put a lot more in, but the thing I've noticed is when I do my giveaways here, I let them choose when they spin the wheel here.
Yeah.
If they can choose, what do you want, a hard bait, a soft bait, or something out of the miscellaneous bucket like a spinner bait? And they 99% of the time they skip the soft plastic bucket.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the soft plastic lures; they want the hard baits. I kind
of agree with it, but I think you got to have a mix of both. I think there's a formula on what can go in there, and that formula seems to be pretty decent. So I guess I think majority people I saw, No Redemption Outdoors said quality. I think majority people said quality. I think that's the key to making a good box, which kind of leads me into my next theory here.
What about the terminal tackle? Are you going to ask a question about that?
Do you need terminal tackle? In all honesty, do you need terminal tackle?
I don't need it at all.
I don't either. And I'll be honest. I know, and you and I talked about this. We have a little, I wouldn't say pre-show, but we talk a little bit beforehand.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't need is I don't need a freaking sticker in my box. I don't need stickers. I don't use them. I don't know who uses them. I don't know what they accomplish. I don't need them at all. I mean, I don't need them, any of them. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think some guys really like the stickers.
You do,
and I think some of them really like the terminal tackle too. But if I had a choice between some hooks and another lure, I'd take the lure.
I would too. That's just. But like I said, I know that the stickers probably cost a penny or two. I don't even know how much they probably cost. They're kind of. But for me, I don't. I'll be honest. The ones that first came out that just said MB, I gave all those to my friend Mark Benson. He's the pro at the Ritz-Carlton. So he thought it was funny that they said his initials, so he put them all over everything. But I
know this one's super popular.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of people that.
I think a lot of guys really like that one.
So Tony loves the stickers from No Redemption Outdoors. Roger likes the stickers. Matt likes the stickers.
I think this sticker's awesome.
Yeah, that's the best sticker of all time. The kids love the stickers from my boy Hank. Slap the stickers on the laptop from Who's Duncan. Big DD?
Yeah.
Double D? Do you know him? Oh, Big DD loves the stickers.
Yeah, he's one of our regular viewers.
Sorry, I'm behind. So yeah, there's a lot of people that obviously, a lot of people also said they don't need the terminal tackle. Jan says stickers for kayaks. I should mention, Jan, while I'm thinking about this, if we do the prize packs, they won't send them out of country. However, Jan, I won't put your address. I've made a saltwater box as good as the one I sent Mr. Bass just for you.
Oh man.
And it's like 6 pounds of tackle. So I'm sending that out.
Hey, let me verify your address too, because I've messed his address up several times and gotten returned to sender.
Oh.
We just do that offline sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of people, Mike liked the stickers. Eric, finally someone agrees with me. Monster Bass says, no joke, if we forget sticker, we'll get more customer support tickets. So obviously it's just me. Maybe it's, and I have no problem being wrong. It's like, I make fun of this when you go to the Classic or iCast. You see all these people that have, they have patches all over their shirts of all these pro staff people. So I always have a good time going, I wonder if that guy is really getting paid or he's just got that sticker or that patch on just because he's hoping to get some free crap, but that's a whole nother, we could have a whole nother show on that. Okay. So we agree on quality and quantity. I think everyone else does. Obviously everyone loves the stickers. Your wife says that the Mr. Bass sticker is obviously the best one. Shameless Mr. Bass sticker. That's all right. Terminal tackle. Everyone seems to be, do you need it? No, I guess if we could get another lure, that would be great. But I mean, some people.
One point a guy made on the comment, which I think it does make sense, is he says, I like terminal tackle if it matches some other lure that I could use the terminal tackle with in the box. And some boxes do that. They think about, okay, we're going to give them this lure. They're going to need this kind of hook, and they put them together, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I think that in that case that works, because one of the problems I have with lures is you get a lure, and then it says, oh, you need to use a 6/0 owner hook for it, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What? Why? What? Who does that? But that's a new thing that's been going on in the industry. So it was with Thunderhawk, they did their I think it's the Thunder Belly. I don't know where they are. The Thunder Belly.
Puts it on every package of their baits. They show the hook that you should use with their bait.
Yeah. So I'm in the minority for the stickers. Roger would like a Mr. Bass sticker, so email him. How many? Do you have a lot of those to give away? Could you give them away?
Yeah, I give them away.
Okay,
absolutely.
So we'll put that up. Jeff, everyone loves the stickers. Wow. Monster Bass, do you like receiving terminal tackle when it pairs with? Oh yeah, that was Monster Bass that put that on. Yeah.
Yes. People are saying yes to that, Monster Bass.
Yeah, I think everyone likes that for sure. And really, I think that's probably pretty hard for all of them to do because, they're. I will give credit where credit's due. Monster Bass having regions for each place is different than anybody has ever done, and I appreciate that because, even though I feel like sometimes I get stuff that just I have no clue how they pick a 12-foot diving lure for Florida. I'm like, that one just dumbfounds me because Okeechobee only is 16 foot. That's the deepest place I know of around here. So yeah.
So what about the the other trend? 6 cents, I think, is the one that started this, but it used to be a monthly box was just from an aggregator, a company who took a bunch of different lures and put them in a box, and then the Monster Basses and the Mysteries started making their own lures. But now you've got companies like 6 Cents and Jewel Baits and I don't know who else that are making their own boxes, their own brand specific boxes. And I know 6 Cents Super 6 Sacks are super popular, and everybody seems to love those things. And I kind of thought when they first started doing that, well, people are going to start getting tired of, I mean, let's face it, how many Quake 70s can you have, before you're finally like, dude, I've got 300 Quake 70s. I don't need any more. Well, what Sixth Sense has done is they've started adding all these other lines and all these other baits. You know, came out with the wake baits, and they started coming out with soft plastics, and they have their swim jigs, and they're just now they're doing rods and reels, and of course they're not going to send that in a box. But Sixth Sense continues to expand their inventory to the point that it's not nearly the kind of problem that I thought. The Jewel Baits box that I've started subscribing, I wonder how long that's sustainable, because Jewel Baits, I love their lures and have been fishing their jigs for years and years. That's why I signed up. I said I got to try their box, but they have such a smaller overall inventory of products. I don't know how you can keep that going unless they start cranking out. I mean, they almost have zero soft plastics. I mean, they have literally a few craw trailers and those kind of things, a goby bait. It's interesting. I like watching what's happening and going on in the industry. But what if Strike King starts coming out with one of these boxes? You know, Major League Fishing's come out with one now.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very interesting.
So I am on. I think that most of Sixth Sense baits are unbelievable, but I think that the box that they put out, I think, and this is just my opinion, everyone's going to blow us up because of this, and I don't mean, and this, I think you're better off going to Sixth Sense and picking the lures that you want and the colors that you want, because there isn't that much of a discount in their box itself. If you buy the tailored box, like I have several times, it comes with it. Like I said, here I am talking about colors of all things. But there's just knocked me in the head, someone. But if I'm gonna
send them a letter and say, in my Sixth Sense sack, I would like all white lures, please.
Well, that's kind of what I kind of sort of did. I'm like, I want all darker colors, and but I kind of felt like when I looked at their inventory and their colors, then I went, oh man, I really wish I would have gotten that color. So in my opinion, I just think it's better just to go to Sixth Sense and make the order itself, because they're quality lures, and you're not getting that much of a discount. When we have these subscription tackle boxes, there really is a discount. There's a lot of times you'll get, you'll pay $30 and you might get 40 or 50, sometimes even more value in there, which is kind of, I mean, how important is that to you?
To a monthly box, for sure. If you're a person that really cares about value and quantity and value, well, if you can get $50 worth of lures for $35, well, some people just are all over that. And you're right, the monster bass and the mystery and those guys, I mean, that's kind of their specialty. And I do that. You've done that too, where you kind of take their lures and you add the price up on those lures, and you kind of, the audience likes to see that sometimes. All right, they're saying you get $60 worth of lures. I added it up, and I don't see that. One thing that I noticed, like in the I think it's in this, in this multi-species box that Monster Bass did this month, they list all the lures and they're in the box, and they put a price by it. But then they put a little disclaimer down here at the bottom, down here, and it says, what it basically says is, we've gone to Tackle Warehouse and pulled all of the prices from Tackle Warehouse on these. Meaning, look, I'm not trying to snowball you on lure prices.
Yeah.
The only problem they run into here is their own specific lures. Some of those, I think it's kind of hard to justify some of the prices they put on some of those. They don't have that this month in this deal, but I think that gives them a little bit more credibility when they say, look, we're telling you it's $47 worth of lures, and we went to Tackle Warehouse and got all the prices to show you. This is what you'd pay going to Tackle Warehouse. Because, some of those lures, I'm not talking Monster Bass specifically, but some of the values they put on something, just like there's nothing that burns me up more than getting what I call a sample pack.
Oh my gosh. No.
And the mystery tackle box pro backs that I put a video out on today, they gave me, look at this, Fishui lures. This is normally an 8-pack. They gave me four of them.
I think this is the one problem that goes on. First, there's two problems. First, having a bag that doesn't say what the color is or what the name of the lure is
That's
a very
right.
big issue.
Hold on. It's infuriating.
I have one. I know they're watching. Sorry, Monster Bass.
Uh-oh.
This right here. Someone tell me what lure this is. Tell me what lure it is. Because I can't tell what it is, what the name is. I have no idea other than it's Smart Baits. I don't know. So if I need to buy another one of these, how am I going to know what to do or what to go?
Yeah.
So
yeah. This is even sneakier here. I mean, a 4-pack. It's supposed to be an 8-pack, and it's 4-pack. But look at this. They send me a bruiser bait stick worm.
Nice.
I like them. Yeah. But the website comes in an 8-pack, so they only short you one worm. But guess what? I know about it. And that's really. You got to cheap out by taking one worm out of the bag. I mean, come on.
Oh, it's called disco worm.
I'd rather you. I would just prefer you not. Don't even put it in the bag if you're only going to do a sample pack. It turns me off. And you're right, not having the color, the name of the color. What do I do if I really love this lure?
Exactly.
And I want to go buy more of them. I don't even know what the color is.
Exactly. I haven't uploaded my new. I got the Monster Bass video, the Monster Bass bag on Monday, and I'm gonna try something a little bit different with the Monster Bass box this month. So I think on Saturday, because I only upload 3 times a week, on Saturday, I actually take some of the lures and I bring them out to the springs and show you what the lures look like underwater. So you can actually see.
Those are good videos.
So anyway, yes, it's and Monster Bass comment. It's called the disco worm. So now I know. So, but it is frustrating. It is frustrating for sure. I have to say, we need to give a shout out really fast to Roger Hall. Do you know Roger? Roger caught his first topwater fish of the year, so he's happy. Sweet. So congratulations, awesome. Roger, for that. That's awesome.
Excellent. Good job, dude.
Yes. So yes, okay, there we go. So we talked about stickers. We talked about quantity. What are your thoughts of when you get a box and they have that list of how much everything is, and then out of nowhere you do research it, and then it comes back, and I don't mind saying it, I had one that came back $12 less than what they had anticipated, and then they gave me 12 lures, and I figured they added $1 for every lure. I don't even know I don't have it around here anymore. But what are your thoughts on when that happens? And I'm going to scroll through comments right now too. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, my first thought is, and I think this is true of most of us, we're not stupid. We can tell if you say the lure's worth $12, I know whether it's worth $12 or not.
Yes.
Just because you print it on the paper and says this is a $12 lure, don't go for that. I mean, you know, that's just not. That's the gimmick part of the boxes, you know. Sometimes, so I'm very cognizant of that kind of stuff, and it is frustrating. And this is kind of why, you know, over time it's kind of an evolving thing. It's kind of why I'm flushing Warriors right now. Because I don't care what I pay per month. There's nothing in that box in their specific all Warriors box that is exciting enough to make me feel like it's worth the amount of money they're charging.
Do you see this comment? This is a great comment from Greg. They should throw in a sample pack as a bonus, not part of the box price.
Yeah, and label it bonus sample pack. And
Greg,
say, hey, it's a bonus. Oh, great.
I like that, Greg. That's a good idea.
Good thought.
Yeah, well, I'll say it right here. Matt has a good thing. One of the things, my issues that comes up is I hate getting a bait and then going, oh, it's worth $6, and then you find it at Ollie's for $1.99, and you're like, okay, what's going on
Yeah.
here? Why is this
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
And that seems to happen a lot. It seems to happen in like some of the lesser name box more than the bigger name boxes.
Well, here's another problem. I can imagine that these companies have inventory issues, and there's times when they can really get a great deal, and so they buy a crap ton at almost nothing, and they think this is great because I. But here's one of the problems: if you've got a guy or gal who religiously gets your box every month, they don't want the same bait over and over and over and over and over again. And I cannot tell you how many times I've opened the box and said, not only was it 3 months ago, you put the same thing in last month.
If I get another damn Yappa bug, I know you like them. I get another damn Yappa bug, it's instant cancellation. That is the God's honest truth. I have given my boy Mark Tomlinson more Yappa bugs that are available in the state of Florida. It seems like it's in every box. And really, when you see it in every box, then you have to start questioning what's going on. Does it not catch fish? Are they now overstock? What's going on with that bait?
Yeah. This is one of the things guys say. Oh, you go look at the comments. No, it is unbelievable how many guys say overstock, overstock, overstock. Guys are sensitive to that stuff. They recognize it. And here's a tip. If you're going to put an overstock lure in the box, don't put a cold water jerk bait in the box in July. At least move it. At least move it to the cold winter months. Yeah. I mean, at least be somewhat strategic about your overstocks rather than we got a ton of these left over. Let's just throw them all in the box because that torques a lot of guys, I'd say.
So overstock is one of the things that bothers me the most about these things, about the subscription tackle boxes, because
you were telling me about a lure you got last month or the month before that was like a 10-year-old lure.
Yes.
Or something. I don't even remember what lure it was. But
I don't know what lure it was either.
You're like, this thing is 10 years old. There's nothing new or exciting about it. And they may say it's worth $12, but it was worth $12 12 years ago.
Yeah. Monster Bass says, so I want a Yappa bug in June. No, please, yeah. Rick. No, please. There's a lot of people that use Yappa bug and they're very successful. My boy Mark Tomlinson, I mean, he's near you. He's in Missouri. He kills them with it. I mean, he just kills them. For whatever reason down here, I don't catch anything. And I've used it a lot, but it's just one of those, I just don't have any success on it. And when you don't have confidence in the lure, that really hurts your whole fishing, that's a lot of it. So let's speak of overstock. I mean, is it all right to put overstock in a box or is it not? In all honesty.
Yeah, I think you got to be very selective when you do it and pretty sparing. I think, in a 12-month period, you can put one or two in throughout the year and nobody's really going to notice that or care. But man, this is the reason I canceled my Lucky Tackle Box Panfish subscription, because literally every month I was getting repeat lures, not only the exact lure, but the exact color and everything, which is fantastic if you actually like that lure. If you don't, it's like, holy cow, this is the third month in a row I've got this. And, you can make your own assumptions about whether it's why have they got so many of these? Why do they keep throwing these in? If you're going to do an overstock, like one thing I'll throw out with Monster Bass, I think Monster Bass has a ton of thunder crickets because they tend to show up in boxes a lot. But guess what? A thunder cricket is an amazing lure.
Put it in every month. Put it in every month.
Yeah, give it to me every month.
I'll take it.
It's a real $12 to $13 lure, But that 12-inch long lunker hunt jerk bait that I can only use one of those in my life anyway. Don't give me one every other month. It's it's those kind of things that you're like, okay, this has got to be an Overstock, because there's no way anybody would want more than one 12-inch jerkbait.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'm just using that as an example, random example.
I'm at a stage where the Overstock stuff I just don't want it. There's certain products that, like you just talked about. The Thunder Cricket is a staple in most people who that fish. What is it called? Bladed jigs. They know that it works. Yeah. Is it as good as a jackhammer? No, but it's not that far off. So it does catch fish.
Solid. It is a solid lure, and it came in my my multi-species box this month. I was tickled to death to get that.
And I get a Mustat Scattershad.
Well, hey, that Thunder Cricket's pretty awesome.
Tony said Overstock is final once in a while, and at a legit current value that reflects that it's Overstock. Yeah, that's another thing. If it's Overstock, just tell us. Look, it's Overstock. It's still a good product. You're going to catch fish with it, but there's adjust the pricing properly. That would help. I think having more transparency on a lot of this stuff, because quite honestly, I mean, no disrespect to Lucky Tackle Box, there's no time soon I'm ever getting a Lucky Tackle Box. They could send it for free. I'm not putting it on the channel. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I've been pretty unhappy with them lately, so I get it. I do get it, and I think the I don't know about the average customer, but I know me, and I know the guys that I fish with, and we are pretty savvy. We're pretty astute when it comes to fishing lures, and we know when we're being bamboozled. We know it. It's very easy to recognize it right away, and we're not going to tolerate that for very long because there's just too much competition.
Yes,
I mean, just like this Florida box you got me onto, I was like, holy cow! This guy, like 2 days after I submit my order online, I get a phone call from the guy,
Vic. Yes,
yeah. I'm like, hello. Yeah, Florida fishing tackle. This is Vic. Hey, I just want to know about your fishing style. And I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then he spends like half an hour on the phone with me talking about, what I like to fish, how I like to fish, water clarity, depth. Do I like to fish different species besides bass? All kinds of things. And wow, that's a tailored box for sure. Now, how do you do that when you got 20,000 subscribers or however many? I mean, I don't know how you would pull that off.
He isn't going to be able to do it if he has 20,000.
Yeah, I kind of get that. There comes a point in your business where that doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. But it was super refreshing to actually have the guy call me on the phone and tailor a box specifically for me. Wow, I didn't even care as much on the price when I thought I'm going to get a box completely tailored to me.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
And it's tough. I mean, I actually consider Rick a friend, to be honest, from Monster Bass. When Monster Bass first came out, when we were doing the radio show, they had a friend that was doing their marketing. Gosh, I can't believe I don't remember his name. He used to do Live Target too. But he said, "Hey Steve, can you promote this? We're going to give you a couple. I think it was 3 months for free to give away on the air." And I really appreciated that. I think 2 or 3 people got subscriptions for 3 months. I think Mark Tomlinson might have got one. I don't even know who the other people were, but it was really it was cool to give away. So I do consider Rick a friend, and I've told I'm honest. Everything I say on the boxes I've told to Rick, but Rick called me. My first month didn't come to me, and he called me to say, "Dude, we're sorry. We have the wrong address for you. We're sorry." And then. And 2 days later it came. I mean, now he can't do that they're selling tens of thousands of subscription tackle boxes.
Yeah.
But Gary Abernathy, thank you, Monster Rick. Gary and I are very close friends, and but to get that kind of customer service is something that I would never expect from Lucky Tackle Box or Mystery Tackle Box ever. It was
for
nice
sure.
that Rick did it, and we've had a relationship ever since. He does a good job. He does a good job. I mean, there are times there are times I'm not happy with it, but there's someone that's happy with it, because I can tell you, I give it away. I say I'm going to give away this, and then people jump down my throat to get it. So
Absolutely. And I even, I understand that there are times when, some months I'm going to like the box better than others.
yes,
I just don't want to feel like I'm being ripped off when I get a box, whoever it's from.
yeah, I agree completely. Okay, here's a question that I talked to somebody, not you, in the industry about this, that does subscription tackle boxes, that makes them, does them real well, does their thing, does their thing. But we talked about people's unboxing videos in the YouTube channel world.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things there's two questions to this. First off, is it right to do a 30-minute unboxing video and talk about 8 lures that you got, and it takes 30 minutes to unbox? And then the second is when you see the person's back, like what you have back there, and they've got 10 SKUs, pegs of one product.
Yeah.
I mean, my question is are they using it at all, or are they just, is getting subscription boxes just a good way for us to collect more tackle?
Good question. I think it's a combination of both. I do fish with some of the lures in my boxes without question. Almost every month, there's gonna be some lures in there I will absolutely fish with, and every month there's some lures I'm absolutely never gonna fish with, and those go in my giveaway buckets. And it doesn't even, they may even be awesome lures. They're just not something I'm going to fish with. And this is one of the issues with a monthly box is, don't subscribe to a monthly tackle box thinking that you're going to get 7 or 8 lures every single month that you're in love with and that you're actually going to fish with, because that's not the case. It's not going to happen. 30-minute long videos. It's kind of interesting because I have people in my audience that would like an hour-long unboxing video.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, I absolutely do. And then I have others who say, could you speed this up? Could you speed this up? Could you shorten this? This needs to be a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video. And so what I try to do is I try to go through it as fast as I possibly can. But when I get onto a lure that I'm interested in or I'm excited about, I spend time talking about it. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that has blown my mind since I've been a YouTuber is just how popular unboxing videos are.
It's almost ridiculous.
Guys love them. People love watching it.
And you want to know what's the craziest thing? They will watch you, then they will watch me, and they will watch 2 or 3 other people with the same box. And I'm guilty of it. You put a video up of an unboxing. You know what I do in the after. I'm at swimming and I'm texting you. Oh my God, I can't believe you got this. I do it for Tony, and I do it for he doesn't do unboxings. Every time Topwater Johnny puts one out, or Hank Snow, the first thing I do is I'm texting everybody. Oh my God, you got this? I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is something about it that's we like it. And so I try to, anytime I make a video, I try to think about the amount of time it's taken to produce it and how much time. But I also feel like there are a lot of people who do some pretty crappy unboxing videos that are just not worth watching. And I feel like one of the things that's most critical to me is I look at it as I'm helping these people make a buying decision. Mm-hmm. So I really want to give them a good shot of what the lure looks like up close. And I try to show them all this, just like you do. You're even better than me. You've got yours on a turntable, perfect lighting. And when someone's watching yours, they can absolutely see. They can see that lure. The only way they could see it better is if they actually went to a store and pulled it off the rack and looked at it in person. And I think that's one of the reasons we do it. And then I usually will spend a little time explaining what the lure is, and I'll even sometimes put the value there, so a guy can decide for himself. Yeah, that's maybe worth spending my money on or not.
Yeah, I'm right there. I think I try to keep them around 10 minutes. I will say this next monster bass one is, I think, 13 minutes. But I kind of try to do I talk too much in the beginning. That's the truth. Before I get into the unboxing. But in this case, I'm trying to say, look, I'm trying to do something a little bit different. I realize I'm overly critical on Monster Bass, but I'm overly critical with Bass Baits Monthly. The first Bass Baits Monthly box I got, I really thought was absolute. I wanted to cancel that day. And then there were people like, I think Texas Huntsman, who's on here right now. There were a bunch of people that said, Steve, you have to give it trust me, you have to give it a second chance. Don't cancel right away. And then after that second month, I was like, oh, okay. Now, in the case of Vic from Florida Tackle Club, I met Vic at ICAST 2 years ago, and he hadn't even sent out a box yet. And he's like, hey, I listened to the radio show. I want you to check out this box. And I opened it, and I said to him, hey, I'll buy this if you can send this to me. I'll buy this right now. And he's like, well, this is the idea I have. I'm going to cater it to this and this and this. And I'm like, I don't know if it can be done, but if it can, good for you. But where can I subscribe to get this? Because if you're going to do this and make it the way you say you're going to, I'm all in for you. And Vic does a great job. But you have to really look at it as, if Vic gets overly busy with people loving his thing, there's really
that's going to change.
Yeah, things will have to change for him, because he's just such a tiny, and I mean no disrespect, he's a tiny person in the industry that, he has a hard time getting baits in for people. But at the same time, his customer service and the group that is with him, the team behind him, is really, they're exceptional. They do the research and make that product for us that's perfect. So yeah.
So my videos are usually they're average around 10 minutes long for the unboxing of usually. It
seemed like a majority of the people said that 10 to 15 minutes was pretty good. 1 to 2 minutes. Luba, who I don't know who it is, said 1 to 2 minutes per lure is good length and stuff like that. Everyone, make sure you. I'm just going to say it right now. Everyone, make sure you hit that thumbs up, but also go to Mr. Bass's channel right now. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button on his video he uploaded tonight. Hit the notification bell and be part of both of our teams, the collaboration that we're both doing, because there's a little bit of work that goes in, and we can talk about that. There's a little bit of work that goes into making an unboxing video. Can't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a ton of work, really. The good news is the more you do it, the quicker you can do it, but it still doesn't reduce the amount of work it takes to do it. And I think the other thing guys probably don't realize is that there's two ways to do one. One is you can completely shoot from the hip. And many times I do that. Often I will do that. But there are other times when, I'll go through the box and then I realize, man, I need to do some research on some of this stuff. And I know if I do, I'm going to learn more, and my video is going to be better.
Yes.
And so there's definitely some research that goes into doing a good unboxing video for sure.
So I catch grief if I open the box and don't shoot from the hip. People like to see my facial expressions, because I'm very, I'm like, what is this crap? So people like to see that. So there are times I've opened up a box and went, okay, let me look at this. I would have loved to have opened up that Bass Baits Monthly and done the research on that RoboWorm before I said, I have no clue what this is. But that was me being completely honest. I'm not trying to clickbait you. And you're not either. There's a lot
absolutely.
of great people like No Redemption Outdoors. There's a bunch of YouTubers on here right now, like Topwater Johnny, Hank Snow Outdoors, No Redemption Outdoors. Sorry, and there's a lot of people that have make good videos, and they're not trying to clickbait you. I'm too damn old to clickbait you, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
But it does take, people don't realize how long it does take to make one of those videos. It isn't just looking into a camera and talking. The lighting alone. Do you see the lighting behind me? Where's my lighting? Do you see the light behind me?
Yeah. I know it.
It's ridiculous.
It matters. Yeah, it really matters.
Okay.
For sure.
Now, can we talk about, if we have to rate them, can we say the big name ones? You can't really put Florida Tackle in the big name ones. Can we agree on that? But what if we have Monster Bass, Lucky Tackle Box, Warriors, Mystery Tackle Box? What are the other big ones?
Definitely big.
I don't know. Where would you rank them?
Okay.
From worst to first.
Well, worst to first. Okay. So I think there are two categories, and the categories are the aggregators, like I called before, who are the Monster Bass, Mystery Tackle Box, Lucky Tackle Box. They're the ones that take accumulation of a lot of lures rather than a company-specific lure. I think overall the consensus would be that 6 Cents Lures has the best box going. But they are very specific. They are a one-trick pony. They only do their products.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could really compare it to the aggregators, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
So if you throw out the 6 Cents types, then you're left with the Mystery, the Monster Bass, the Lucky, the Warriors, and those. And my general opinion is that Monster Bass and Mystery are just about on equal footing in my thinking as the best. I prefer Monster Bass because of the exact thing that happened to me today with this Mystery, where I get 2 sample packs in my box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy about that.
That sucks.
It does suck. I'm also not super excited about a lot of Catchco lures, although there are some Catchco lures I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And so it depends. Some months it depends on what Catchco lure they throw in the box as to how excited I am about it or not. And it's the same with the Monster Bass. Monster Bass always has a portion of their lures that are name brand lures that I'm super happy with, and then they're going to have some of their own lures in the box. And I'm kind of the same way. I like some of their lures a lot, and then some of their lures I'm not that crazy about. So I think they really are very similar in what they provide. Now, if you were a Guggen fanatic and absolutely bowled over and in love with Guggen, then you might have to say, well, Catchco's got a monopoly on the Guggen stuff, so maybe they've got an edge there. But I think, speaking, just as a comparison, they're probably the 2 best. The caveat to that is that Monster Bass has this orange multi-species box, and I don't think anybody on the market has anything to compare with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are other companies that do panfish boxes, but that's all they are, is panfish boxes. And I'm telling you, the average Joe can only use so many panfish tubes, and then you're done. There's just not a huge amount of panfish lures that can keep a guy interested. So Monster Bass, I think, has done the smart thing by putting this combination box where every month you're going to get some panfish lures, but you're also going to get some great bass lures like the Thunder Cricket I got in the box. It actually came today. So there's this kind of side deal where I think for multi-species, monster bass is the very best out there.
Yeah.
And then when you're looking at bass baits, I think them and Mystery are on the same, pretty close to the same level. Next one below that, in my opinion, is I maybe should have prepared for this ahead of time. I'm super unhappy with Lucky.
Yeah, Lucky's probably the worst for me.
Yeah, I think they are for me too. There's nothing much there. Now, I will tell you, probably would be really hard to differentiate. The Major League Fishing Champions box, I've only gotten 2 of those so far, and they've both been very good. They really have. And I kind of had a negative attitude out of it. I ordered it because I'm like, I got to order this. I got to try this. I got to see what's in it. But in the back of my mind, I thought, you know what? We're going to get a crap ton of Boyd Duckett lures and Profound Outdoors Timmy Horton lures, and that's all we're going to get in these boxes. And I just guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Well, there are some, but I've never been that excited about Duckett lures, to tell you quite frankly. But the first 2 months, there's been a nice blend of what I would call really high quality lures. And they're doing a few things different that nobody else is doing, or at least I don't think anybody else is doing. They've got this monthly seminar with a pro, and they give you a special code as part of the box, and the subscribers are the only one that can watch it apparently. And, they do some other stuff that's a little more gimmicky, but I think maybe some people, it's kind of like your sticker deal. They put a little poster of a pro every month in there, an 8x10 poster. I don't care about that at all, but there might be some who do. So I think the Major League Champions box is intriguing, and I think it's kind of they're doing a lot to try to make themselves look like one of those premier level boxes like the Monster Bass or the Mystery Tackle box. Warriors is pretty crappy as well. I don't want to say crappy as in junk. You just got to realize they've gone away from – there was a period of time where they really would put a lot of surprising, super high quality lures in there, whether it be from river to sea or, Strike King or other. But now that they've gone with this completely Warriors mindset, they're kind of down there in the Lucky realm,
Yeah.
Although I still think I'd probably take Warriors over Lucky.
I think I would too.
I probably would, I probably would.
Yeah, I think I agree with you completely. I think I haven't gotten the one from Major League Fishing yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I only subscribe to 3, and I think I'm sticking with the 3 for now, only because I do the closer look videos, and that has a big influence on the stuff I put out. But it's one of those things that it's so hard. In my opinion, I've been so high on monster bass for so long that when things started to get a little iffy the last 3, 4, 5 months, that you kind of get away from being positive about them. And I think this month they were much better than the past few months. I will say, in terms of Major League Fishing, you're probably going to see some Boyd Duckett stuff. You might not know this, but Boyd Duckett owns the rights to the Molix line of lures here in the United States. And Molix makes a lot of great baits, but now instead of saying Molix, it's going to say Duckett Fishing. It's going to he's repackaging them and putting them under the Duckett Fishing thing. So there'll be a lot of, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see some really top quality baits that are Molix coming in under the Duckett thing, and that there is nothing wrong with that.
That would be awesome. That would be great.
So
And I don't think that he's creating a bunch of bad lures. I've just never been super excited about him, but there's been some ducket crankbaits and stuff like that in the boxes, and I think they're fine.
yeah. So my next question to you is who is the perfect person for these boxes? Is it, I have it written down, is it the seasoned angler that to get these boxes, or is it someone that you're trying to get introduce into the outdoors, into fishing, or is it young kids, or is it gifts? Where do you think these subscription boxes fall for the perfect person?
I think the perfect person would be a kid that's interested in getting into fishing, but I think they can't afford them. I could be wrong. Maybe some of the kids. I mean, obviously, there's some kids that can afford them.
Well, their parents might buy them.
Yeah, their parents might buy them. I think they're perfect because if you can, here's the thing: a 15-year-old kid that's just getting into fishing, he has no prejudice in his mind about the quality of, say, a Lucky Tackle lure or a Monster Bass branded lure or any of that. He's just like, awesome, this is a new crankbait, I'm gonna go throw it. And so if you could start him and he could kind of grow up in that brand, even as an adult angler, he's probably still gonna say, man, I love those lures that came in the XYZ box, whichever box it was. I think the seasoned anglers are still probably the ones who spend the money on it more than anybody else, but the vast majority probably would do much better by buying their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of guys that are seasoned anglers that subscribe to them, and there is something, here's one of the elements. It's a surprise every month.
It is.
And it is fun. It's always kind of fun to have a surprise.
It's like gambling.
Yeah, it's like gambling a little bit. So, are they as a seasoned angler, the perfect market? Well, if you're trying to introduce new lures that hopefully they'll go out and start buying, then probably, yeah. But I think the way it kind of started out originally is probably makes the most sense is some sort of a gift subscription to someone. If Steve sent me a monthly box every month, I'd love it. Even if I didn't care about half of it, because I'm not paying for it at all. And it's just fun and exciting coming every month.
It's like free food. Free food always tastes better than the ones you got to pay.
That's right. Free food's always the best. So I don't know. I don't know who the perfect market is there. It's a great question. I'm sure they're asking those questions all the time. One thing that Lucky used to do, I think, better than anybody, at least my perception was for a while, is they kind of had this education sort of flair where they would give you lures and they would put some stuff in there that would teach you techniques, and then they would have video links that you could go to and watch guys. And some of their videos, their videos, technique-specific videos, were really good. And a lot of that's kind of gone by the wayside. But, kind of as an educational box, I think was a good idea, especially for a newer fishing demographic. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting question for sure.
Yeah. I think that if you got it as a gift, you wouldn't be disappointed in a majority of the boxes. If you send me Monster Bass for free, I'm unbelievably happy. There's something to be said for that. And now what I want, I'm a little hard on Mystery Tackle Box too, and the reason why is while I appreciate what they've done in the marketplace and all the companies that they've created, there was some, you said it earlier, there's a lot of times you get a lure and you look it up and you're like, this is completely a fake company. There's no way they don't sell them online. You can't find any information. Their last post on Facebook was 7 years ago.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay, why is this happening? But like my little nephew, and Callan is an exceptional fisherman. He is an exceptional angler. I wish I was as good as he is at 12 years old. But he really gets it really makes him happy to get this new stuff. Now I will say when sometimes he gets stuff and he is like, I'm not gonna this doesn't work where we are fishing. And I'm like, yeah, that happens a lot. But he comes over here and he sits down. Like I have I've been trying to put boxes together for 6,000 subscribers, so a lot of them he isn't getting recently. But most of the time they're just sitting right here on the side of me, and comes over when he comes over the house, and he just sits down and he's like, "Can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? Or how does this work? How does that work?" So I know that for him, for someone younger, it's these boxes are like really exceptional for them.
Absolutely.
And that makes, it's about getting kids outdoors, you know what I mean? If it makes him happy, then I'm happy. That's how it is. Russell had a question. Did you ever get a bait in a box that you never used, but is now a staple? It's a good question, Russell.
Yeah. The one that I would say that I had never used that I literally used all last year was a squelcher buzzbait that came in my Monster Bass box. I've fished buzzbaits for years and years, so it's not like that was new, but I had never fished that specific brand, and I took it out and just crushed them, and I really like the unique sound that the squelcher makes, and it's turned into one that I take with me everywhere. When I'm throwing a buzzbait, I've always got one of those handy.
So I know one that we both will agree on. I got it was a new lure. I mean, it wasn't nobody had ever used. It's that Mike Bucca baby bullshad or baby bullgill, whatever
goodness.
one.
You are not kidding.
The first time you use that lure, your mind you change. It's like having a kid almost. Your whole body, everything changes about the way you fish because you're like, wow, does that really look that good? I mean, I've caught so many fish on that bait. It's not even funny.
You are not kidding, man. I got that, and I'll tell you honestly, my first thought was, okay, here they go.
I'm right there with you.
They're trying to latch on to the Mike Bucca name, and they've cheaped out and created this crappy little bait that they can put in their box with Mike Bucca's name and make us think, ha ha ha, yeah, you got a premium bait. And man, have I eaten my words on that, because that lure, $14.99, that's the best value on the planet, maybe.
I'm right there.
Amazing lure. It's amazing.
Amazing lure.
And so, yeah, that's definitely one that I was actually laughing at until I actually got it in my box and tried it.
It's one of those lures you take out of the box and you go, what are these bristles on the tail? Who is using a... Having said that, I have one of the originals that my boy Booster gave to me. This is not a Bucca. This is a Bucca. It's not a Bucca, but you get those bristles on that tail, and you're like, what in the hell are these people thinking? And then you watch it in the water, and you're like, boom, what is happening? And watching bass strike that bait, they don't try to just kill it. They try to choke the bait. They try to eat it completely whole. It's one of those surprising lures that is exceptional. It's exceptional at catching big fish too.
That's a great lure. It is just great. That's a good question.
Yes. Well, everyone, if you have questions, you can put them up there. I think I'm in agreement with you with your rating of the tackle boxes. I think that there's a place for them. I know people love watching this stuff. the amount of comments from everybody today has been ridiculous. So, I think people like watching it. I think it offers you a different way of learning about some new tackle. If I were to,
Sure.
and I'm not getting in the business. Let me just reiterate this right now. I'm not getting in the business. If I were to have to make a box, I think one of the priorities for me would be making sure that if it was a lesser named product, to make sure I do as much or give as much information about that bait, so that it isn't, so you don't have preconceived notion of a bait because maybe they cheaped out on the packaging, or they forgot to put a sticker of what the bait and the color is, or they have weird numbers for, the A007 for a colors. I don't even know where that goes.
It kind of reminds me of I read a book about Southwest Airlines years ago, and the guy who basically started that, his name was Herb Kelleher, and he used to say, that little bitty light, the little light that lights up, not that shines on you, but the little light that just, if you push to call a flight attendant, it's a little bitty light up there.
Yeah.
He would say there should never, ever be even one single light bulb out inside the airplane.
Yes.
And the reason is because as soon as the button and sees that tiny little light not working, the next thing they think is, this plane's not being maintained. The engine's probably going to explode. and they're suddenly terrified that Southwest,
we're going down. We're going down, baby.
They're a cheap, chintzy airline that doesn't care about the safety of their passengers. Well, you could do so much more if the product that you delivered in these boxes said quality, the flyer, the packet, like you said. Don't just slap a sticker on that says color A06, or don't put a package in the bait that doesn't have a label on it, that doesn't tell us the color and what the bait's called and all that stuff. These little tiny subtleties actually, they say a lot to the customer about, am I getting a quality product or are they cheaping out on me?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I think if you could even take the time to explain, you're putting a little flyer in the box anyway, right? Why not put in there, give us a little explanation about this bait, along with the company that produced it. That takes a lot of that apprehension away from the buyer.
That's what I did in the box I made for you. There was an explanation
That was awesome.
For every lure. Here's why I'm sending this to you. It's not that, you might never, the chances are, had you ever heard of Smash Tech before I put them in there?
No.
It is the greatest vibrating jig, or whatever you want to call it, chatterbait trailer I've ever used. I'm not joking. It's the hardest bait for me to get. I've given these people so many props, and in your box, it was the only thing I paid retail for. Do you know that?
Yeah. I remember you telling me that. Yeah, you put it on the description.
It just swims beautifully with a vibrating jig, with a jackhammer or whatever it is. And if you have that description that talks about this is why I'm doing it, you get a pamphlet, and all these baits are picked out for me for Florida. If I don't know the name, have name recognition, it would be nice to say, oh, this is why he picked it out for me. They picked this out for my region. And I'm just using monster bass as an example.
Yeah.
Because they know that the bluegill spawn is in May, or this or that. And that, I think there's something to be said for a little bit of extra work on someone's part to do the research that will make it better for the buying customer. Because when we don't know a lure, I hate bringing up RoboWorm. But if I would have known that, and let me just say, heaven forbid Aaron Martins is watching this because we're friends. I apologize to you. I'm sorry I don't look at your jersey. I apologize. I got a text and call from him over that. Do you know that?
Yeah, you told me that.
So
Oh, man.
so if you have that knowledge of it all that beforehand, it would help. Lubba asks, what bait is this? I heard something about Smash. It's actually called the Smash Tech Blade Aid is the name of it. If you're a vibrating jig person, you will not believe. I did a closer look video on it. You can go check that out and see
It's got
it for
incredible
yourself.
action on that little tail.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is a fantastic lure. Okay. Is there any questions? Do you have any questions about? Oh, everyone, by the way, let's again remind everyone. Go to Mr. Bass's channel. Right over there. Right there. That's all we're doing. Go to his channel, subscribe, like, comment, and click that notification bell so you know when his next video comes out. You put out a video every day, don't you?
Not every day, but I put a lot of videos out.
Yeah.
I don't have a minimum standard like you do 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I just crank as many out as I can. And
Yeah.
I try to space it out every other day, but if I get a box in the mail, I try to get that out really quick because people want to know, oh, the new box is out. I want to see it. So like I got the Pro Box. I got the Pro Box today, and I published a video today, and I got the Monster Bass multi-species, and I put it out today as well.
So that brings me to a question as somebody who does YouTube videos.
But those
it skipped there for a second. Sorry about that. Here's a question for you. How important is it to get it out quickly? So I've always been on the thing that if I get it done, if I get it that day, I'm going to put it out and try to be one of the first people.
Yeah, I think that's important.
I mean, I hate to tell everybody you're not getting Monster Bass anytime soon. I apologize from me. It'll be on Saturday's upload. I could have put it up today, but this was more important, and I didn't want to try to double dip, to be honest. But I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
But it is important because there's a lot of competition to get the video up first too.
Sure, there is. There absolutely is. And you know, some guys are like, wait a second, it's May 12th and you're putting up the April box. I already saw that. I saw that 4 times, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean
I'm sensitive to the fact that people want to see them right away. So as soon as I get it, I try to get a video out on it.
Yeah, I understand that completely. Okay. What else do we need to talk about subscription tackle boxes? I mean, in a perfect scenario, what's kind of the best what's kind of the best price for you? Is $40 too high? Is $30 all right? I mean, we want to see the best price possible. But where is your happy medium?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I kind of feel like that $35 range is probably fair, and I will pay $40 if I really feel like it's worth that, and I'm getting a lot of value from it. Mm-hmm. But I think you start getting over that $40 range. There's not many people interested in a $50, $60 box.
I think that $35 is like the medium price. I think if you can get 7 or 8 products in that $35 and you think that you're getting like $4 or $5 per bait, that's pretty good. Because honestly, I mean, if we really dived into here, these boxes or these baits probably cost a majority of them $1.25 a lure. I mean, that might be the high end to get. I don't even know where it is to get some of this stuff. It might be $1.50. That would be the best case scenario. Most of them probably, like, I'm just going to use Lucky Tackle Box. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have $5 or $6 in the whole box. I mean, because it's all Overstock. How it really works is some of these companies go to a manufacturer and say, look, what stock do you have left over? Could you supply us with 20,000 lures? Is it possible? And if they have that overstock, they can go, look, How much did it cost you really to make this product? How much did it cost you to make this lure? And then what they do is then they say, well, look, you're getting the marketing out of this. So
Yeah.
here's what we can offer you. And
Yeah.
sometimes they sell it underneath their cost, because you can't you put out 20,000 lures with Monster Bass boxes. The marketing that you get behind the Monster Bass brand is better than anybody else. So you get that marketing behind it, but also you get that product in people's hands. But like,
Absolutely.
most of these boxes probably don't cost, excluding Florida Tackle Club, probably $12 to $14, $15 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing Monster Bass has done that I like is they are now sending out in a bait bag. And, he talks about the fact that the bait bag costs him relatively, he said this on one of the live streams, that it cost about the same as the box did. Well, to me, that's smart marketing, and it's added value, because you can use those bait bags. They actually have a real purpose that you can use. And so that's just another little plus. The other thing I was going to say is, you don't absolutely need the elite box or the pro box or the super pro box. If you're thinking about value, and you're, like, take for example Mystery, they've got a lower tier, and then they got a middle tier, and then they got a extreme tier. I think the highest one is called their elite, and then they got a pro. You're going to get fewer lures with the standard box, but it still might be the smartest way to spend your money if you're looking for ultimate value, because this is one of the things that just used to burn me about the Lucky box, the Lucky Super Duper Extreme Pro box, whatever it was called. They would literally give you two identical lures. You might get 12 lures. They say you get 12 lures, but literally 6 of them are 3 pairs of identical lures. And I'm thinking, there's no value to that. If you're going to give me 12 lures, give me 12 separate lures.
Yes.
And so sometimes buying the super premium, super duper extreme box is not necessarily the best value. And I would just kind of say, if you're wondering about value, you're not really sure about a box, but you'd like to try one, go for the cheapest box. Pick the company that you like. Pick their cheapest box. Try it, and what you don't know you've missed isn't going to hurt you anyway. And then you can kind of bump up over time if you want to, or you can do like some guys who say, I'm not into this monthly box thing at all. I'm just going to go. I can spend $40 a month on lures, and I'm going to Tackle Warehouse and buy my $40. Okay, great. There's nothing wrong with that either.
No, nothing. I will say the transition from the box to the bag was brilliant. I hate to really kind of admit this, but I've actually thought the bags are the best thing that's happened in the last 2 or 3 months for Monster Bass. I haven't been, the lures that I've gotten, I don't use at all. They just go straight to the giveaways, excluding this month. I'm not going to, foreshadowing. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going on for this month, but I was much happier this month. But the bags have been something that's been a staple for me, because I get them from Tackle Webs as is, but I go, when I go fishing, I do like minimal fishing. I don't bring extra tackle. I don't bring anything. I bring a couple rods, a couple extra lures, and I go. I don't bring all my tackle bags and boxes and all that stuff, because it just, usually for me to go fishing, it's usually last minute, unless I'm going with Topwater Johnny, and he and I fish on Thursday evenings together. It's usually,
I kind of do the same thing. I take what I've been doing is taking that bag, and I've been building me a little day box basically with the bag, and I'll hop out on my kayak, and even though I've got a bunch of tackle in my truck that I can transfer to my kayak, when I hit the water, I really just got a Monster Bass bait bag full of what I would call my day box on my bass boat. And this is just what I've set aside to fish with for the day. And it's great. It's super convenient, super easy. I used to do the same thing with the cardboard boxes. Actually, I just take the box out and put the lures in I wanted and do it that way.
Yeah.
But the bags just even better.
Yeah, the bags. I would buy the bags. That's the God's honest truth. I honestly wish Rick would send me 20 of them, but I know I got another 6. I just got debited on my thing for 6 months on Monster Bass the other day, so I know I got at least 6 coming. So, but here's the question I say on the video: at what point in time do you have too many of them now? And what do you start doing when you have 30 of these things? What do we do then?
Yeah, good question. Good question. And I don't know. Maybe at some point he's going to have to start thinking about colors or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's the same. It's the same as the box. I got literally tons of cardboard boxes that I eventually just toss out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. At this point, it's better than that little. It's better than this. There's literally no purpose for this thing at all.
That looks like I don't drink, but that thing looks like what you put your alcohol in.
Yeah, it's like a felt bag that the Super 6 cents lures come in, but there's no purpose for this bag at all. There's absolutely none. At least the bait bag you can use.
Yeah. My boy Jeff, who I fish with, he and I are very close friends. He said he's annoyed he didn't get the notice about this live thing. I don't know what's been going on with the live stuff. And Hank said, do you start accumulating boxes to hold the extra bags? Yeah. There's been a ton of comments, man.
The beauty of having a YouTube channel is I'm just going to start giving those as part of my giveaway. So I'm bring them on.
That's what the boxes. I actually use those to send people's stuff out in. I'm like, oh, this is a perfect box for me to resend.
Not only that, I mean, you can do stuff like this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you sent mine in.
Mystery tackle box. It's a mystery tackle box. Yeah. Right on.
Okay, let's think.
Fun.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What else? Have we missed anything about this? Just out of curiosity?
I don't know. I haven't seen in the questions anything else. One thing I will say that I've been was disappointed with 6 Cents Lures is when I signed up for 6 Cents, their premium bag. One of the things that they asked in the questions and that they said as part of their bags that you were going to get, in addition to lures, you would get 6 Cents swag, hats, and those kind of things over time. And I'm telling you, not once have I ever gotten any swag. Nothing. Not a single time.
I have another question for you. What did you think? And now I have to say, Ken Duke is my fishing partner. He and I go fishing. We are very close. I bounce things off of his. He's a genius in my mind. He's everything. But he put line in that classic box for Monster Bass. Do you think we should be getting line, or would you rather have line or a lure?
All right. Well, here's the thing with line. Rick told me that line, nobody likes line. They don't want line.
No, I agree.
The reason I don't want line is I'm super picky about my line. I am not going to take there's only a very few specific companies' lines that I want. That's a very important part of my fishing.
Yes.
You send me the Joe Blow XYZ line, I am not using it at all. But line's very expensive. And, it actually, if a fisherman were smart, he probably should say, I want more line and less junk lures. Because, especially if you're not a person that's super, super picky, but you still want, say, a solid, decent fluorocarbon or a solid mono, it probably makes more sense for the fisherman, but I think people don't want it.
In my case, I can't use anything but Power Pro. I'll be brutally honest.
Yeah, right.
I have a Shimano sponsorship, and Shimano and Power Pro are under the same umbrella. So, and not like not like Monster Bass knows that, but there are people that have those issues. Which here I wrote this down. Do you think there's any this is a telling little statement about the subscription tackle boxes, as we only have 10 minutes left, by the way. Do you ever think there's any pro fishermen that get these?
No, I don't think so. I'd be surprised. I really would be surprised. I mean, you know, when you go and look at these guys, go look at Mike Iaconelli's bait room. Do you really think he needs a mystery tackle box? I mean, hey, if you want him on your pro staff and you want him pushing the boxes, that's great. But I seriously doubt any of them are really subscribing to this kind of stuff.
My boy Texas Huntman said, let's talk about the worst gimmick lure you've ever received out of a box. Do you know what yours would be?
No, I don't know. Man, I've gotten so many.
I mean, that's the problem. So have I.
Well, today I got this spinnerbait that I told you before the show started. Is this thing a gimmick? What is this thing? I mean, it just, and you were like, no, I think it's legit. I mean,
oh, wait a minute. I didn't say it was legit. I just said it has a different, when you see it in the water, you're going to go, oh, okay, that makes a little bit different sense, I guess.
This is a spinnerbait. Look at how this blade is attached to the wire. I mean, that's like, this looks like something that I don't even know what that is. It kind of looks like that chainmail that my Crimson Tide put around their neck anytime a guy gets an intercept chain or neck. I mean, that's what it looks like. It's you know. Now, the other piece of this spinnerbait is this head is attached to this wire, and the free movement of this is interesting because it's almost, I think that might not be a gimmick, but I don't know. To me, that looks very gimmicky, but is that the most gimmicky lure I've ever gotten? I don't think so. I think I've gotten much worse than that.
I mean, I could play.
What about you, Steve?
I could play you that closer look, even though I'm not going to upload it for another 6 weeks. I can play it for you if you want. I can put it right.
Interesting to see.
You want to hold on? I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to put it overlaid over here. However, I'm going to fast forward it to the underwater. Okay? Because then you don't have to listen to my horrible voice. Hold on. Here we go. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Today, you and I are going to take a closer look from catch. They believe is a serious game changer. This spinnerbait features a willow leaf blade fixed with 3 rings and a coupler, which allows for a much different spinnerbait action. It's an erratic side-to-side swinging action unlike anything I've ever seen. The Psycho bait has a free swinging head, which gives this bait a wider motion of range. It has 3D molded gill rakers and a premium hand-tied skirt. It also has a molded... Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the action in there, and I mean, like I said, is it a gimmick? I don't know. I mean, it definitely looks interesting in the water.
It definitely looks interesting. There was somebody who said, there's been. I think I got one that was a tiny. It was like a little bait that was like this big last month, and not that it was a gimmick, but it was like a really thin. Almost like a blade, lipless crankbait, but it was just a metal thing, and I got it, and
like a blade bait, little blade bait,
and I was like, I don't know if I've never used it, but you know, it is. Herb says, do we remember the Budweiser cans, coolers cans, etc., small poppers with the treble hook? I remember that.
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah, I sure do. And that's one of those bizarre things. You'll also see the kind of stuff that they throw in Japan. Some of these people, and you're like, there's no way that thing could catch a fish, and it does. So this is one of the things you kind of learn with these boxes. If you really fished with everything they send you, you're going to get some surprises. You're going to be like, holy cow, I can't believe that lure works.
Yes. I mean, we said it about the baby bull shad. Yeah.
And the baby bull shad. Yeah, for sure. I mean, It's interesting. I'd be interested. I don't know if we could get a quick survey on the comments, but how many of you are subscribing to a box right now? I mean, just put in there me, if you are.
and really put me and how many you're subscribing to.
Okay. That I would love to see that. I would love to see that in the comments. Because I don't know. I think I'm different than a lot of guys because I subscribe to a bunch of them because of the channel more than anything else.
Well, yeah.
And it would be very interesting to see just the average guy who fishes. What are you guys buying? What are you using? What do you like?
Well, if you didn't do the channel, would you subscribe to him?
I don't know. I really don't know if I would. That's a great question.
By the way, first 6
I tell you what I think I would do. I tell you what I think I would do. I think I would get a box. I would not do a subscription. I would probably buy a different box each month.
Oh. And just try out and see what it is.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot of people that subscribe to them. I mean, it looks like a majority of the people are subscribed to it. Those Nora's NF60 frogs that Steve mentioned. Yes, that frog is ridiculous, to be honest. I'm going to send them to you when I'm done, by the way.
Interesting. There's a lot of comments that are saying, yeah, I do. One for my son there. A lot of them are doing more than one.
Yeah. It's a big business. Oh, we finally got one. My boy Booster says none for him.
Yeah.
He just won a year subscription for Monster. Just joking. I'm sure Rick would do that if we asked him, but we're not going to ask him.
Yeah.
FTC is really up there, and so is. I mean, it's all fun to get these. It's really interesting to get them in the middle of the month because it's kind of like, they all use that same analogy. It's like getting Christmas. It's like you're getting a surprise of fishing tackle that
it is fun
that comes out. My boy Hank said he'd like to get your fish on monthly box. The truth be told, any friend that comes over my house is welcome to anything on the wall. There's a bucket where I put the crappy things on there, and then the wall I say, look, you can have anything on there. Don't worry about asking, just take it. It's just how I am. My boy Jeff doesn't get one either, which is surprising. So anyway, we have just a couple minutes left. Make sure everyone you give this a thumbs up. Make sure you go over to Mr. Bass's channel, subscribe, like, comment, and click that notification button. Check out his new. He is the Monster Bass model. I'm calling him from now on for this month for the multi-species.
I'll show it to you. Look at that.
I love it.
I'm on the. This is the multi-species box.
Yes.
Another shameless plug. I do another live stream every Saturday night, same time, 8 p.m.
Can you text me before you do it?
Yeah, I can.
Because I like to be on and just read the comments and make funny comments. To be honest, I like to give you grief.
It's a good time. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday nights, and we do kind of a lot of the same stuff, talk tackle, but I have my spin to win wheel here, and we give away a lot more stuff, which some guys really like, and as one guy said, I don't need to be bought with free gifts.
Oh, that's nice.
You don't need to buy my viewership, and I was like, well, good, because I'm not really trying to buy it. We're just having fun here.
Yeah, it's about having fun.
Yeah.
So yes, everyone go to his channel, subscribe. Go over there at 8:00 on Saturday. He does great content. It's wonderful. This little collaboration is a lot of fun, and I appreciate it. And I didn't think we'd get 2 hours out of this topic because I had 6 other ones written down.
Yeah.
So
we dragged it out really well. It was no problem, and it was fun. This is an important topic, I think, to a lot of guys. As you can see, there's a lot of guys subscribing to these things, and it's like you and I have talked with each other. We try to be authentic. We're trying to tell you the real deal, the way we see it. And even though I'm working with monster bass on the multi-species, they can't pay me enough to pretend.
Yeah.
It's not possible, really. It's just not. So we're going to try to tell you as straight as of course, it's our opinion. Our opinion may not be the best opinion out there, but we're going to tell you the way we feel and think, and tell it to you straight. Just like we talked a little bit on the last live stream about tackle storage, tackle management. And, I was talking about all these awesome tackle boxes, the Flex Edge and the Busby and all these things. And then I kind of, just let the secret out of the bag that I store most of my tackle in these. They're $4 each. Not to say that I don't use the Planos. I do. I use the Flex Edge and all that stuff, but there's a ton of cheaper options out there.
Oh yeah. I use the Plano ones that have the Plano 3700s that have the seal on them, only because I got burned when I had a flats boat. I got some water in one of my dry storages, and it made everything in those boxes that I had, like the ones you had, completely rust out. And
that's right.
And then so now I use those other ones, and it does help that I have a friend with Plano too. So kind of
right on. That definitely helps.
Yeah, it kind of helps. So everyone, again, make sure you subscribe to both channels, like, follow, do all that stuff. Go to the Instagram and the Facebook. Go on there and just be part of the team, the part of the family we're both building. Because Mr. Bass does a great job on his channel, and it's always nice to have someone you can, if like you answer everybody's questions on the comments, don't you? I mean, we go through it every day, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On Saturday in particular, we'll pretty much read every comment. So.
And I actually there were 3 or 4 people last week. I could probably figure it out if I went on the other computer. I sent a bunch of people to 5 or 6, it was 6 people got, I gave them everything. So they got mirror lure, DOA. So we have those prize packs too. If there's somebody later on you want to give it to, or if you want to just wait till Saturday and give away a couple on your podcast on Saturday, then do it. And just get their name and address, and I will submit it for you.
All right.
And like
great.
Jan and Jeff, because Jan is in Puerto Rico, Jeff is in Canada. Jeff, you have a box from me coming too, a personalized box. So be on the lookout. Probably send that out Friday, probably. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Again, everyone, thanks for watching. Any last words there, Mr. Bass?
No, it was a blast. I really enjoyed it. Thanks, everybody, for watching and supporting both of our channels. We greatly appreciate it. And we hope that you enjoy this. And, oh, by the way, we're also putting this same live stream on the podcast universe out there, Apple Podcasts and all that. So if you're out somewhere driving and you just want to listen to it, you can go and find it.
And I apologize for that.
So, yeah.
Don't run off the cliff.
Yeah. It'll give you something to listen to if you're out there just wanting to listen. So,
yeah.
Thanks again for everybody for watching. Appreciate it.
Yep. Remember, take a kid fishing, get your fish on, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Cheers, guys. Hold on. Staying with me.
Ya.